All right, so we're live, and today we're going to talk about rabbit trails. This is just going to be a quick little video to show you what a rabbit trail is, so you can better utilize them to uh, find purchases beyond the flip that you're looking at, because there's a lot of them out there. Rabbit trails are always effective. If you miss a flip in the group, you should go check out the rabbit trails because sometimes you can find a deal there. So I'm on a search page where I've checked Calvin Klein as my search in women's clothing. And I've already been down here and I've checked 4 stars and up because that's going to give me the best ratio for fit so I don't have to fool with stuff that doesn't fit. I've also chosen 50% off or more. Most of the time I do 70% off or more. Sometimes I like to do 50% off or more. It gives me more of a choice. Even though some items might have less of a return on investment, I get more choices. And of course, I'm still going to see the ones that I would get if I push 70% or more. And then I click on Amazon.com because I'll be purchasing from Amazon, so I don't need a bunch of listings that have third-party sellers on and don't have Amazon on them. So after that's all done, you can see I'm in clothing, shoes, and jewelry, women's clothing, 4 stars and up, 50% or more, Amazon.com. Now, beyond that, if you want to search different types of clothing and whatnot in the Calvin Klein department, you can click on one of these over here. Say we'll click on jeans, and then jeans will come up with the same parameters. See, it still has the same parameters, and that's really cool. So you don't have to do it every time if you go off of one of these over here. You can see there's only 5 listings for Calvin Klein and with those parameters, but you get the idea. Tops and tees, there's going to be more. You see, we got 32 results for tops and tees. But anyway, we're just doing clothing right now, so we'll go back to clothing. Let's go back to where we were. There we go, Calvin Klein women. All right, so I want to show you a rabbit trail. So since Calvin Klein's a real popular brand, and I'm sure that you've seen quite a few deals posted in Calvin Klein, we've learned a lot about Calvin Klein just in the past couple of weeks on how Amazon prices their inventory, and sometimes they have a fire sale, and we benefit. So it's a pretty nice deal. So I'm just going to go. I'm going to scroll through here and just click on one of these and see what I can get to come up. Now, remember, I'm right-clicking to open in the link in a new tab. That's going to save you some time. So we open the link in a new tab, and this will come up. Click off some of these. And so the new tab brings up the listing. So here we are, 4,100 in clothing. That's a good rank. It's got 145 reviews, which means we should be able to get a fair assessment of the variations and percentages and whatnot. It's got a great fit. So we'll just take a look at this real quick. We'll go up here to variation checker, and of course that's going to bring the lowest price among all variations. And you can see here that we have a brand new Chinese seller. Even though it says shipped from Utah, they're Chinese. We got one here too. And I've already checked these, both of these, and I've already reported these to, I have a person that has a close contact with Amazon that's trying to get these listings off the site. And I've already reported these 2 people from earlier today. So my guess is they'll be gone soon. But as you can see, these 2 people have the exact same price point. And if you go to their store, if you click on here and go to their store, you'll see they got hundreds and hundreds of items. Uh, and of course, they haven't sold a thing. And even if they do sell something, they're not going to ship it anyway because they got they're Chinese sellers. Anyway, enough about that. You can see Amazon is hidden in here on some of these. If you just let's click on this one just for instance, see all offers. And you'll see we got these two new sellers, but we got Amazon at 33.05. Amazon used to match these Chinese sellers, but they've figured them out and they don't do that anymore. But they don't give these guys the buy box, just so you know. So uh, Amazon's on this at 33, and of course we're not gonna buy that. But anyway, this gives you a Calvin Klein item. So we're gonna go back to the main page. And so here's the main page that you're sourcing from, deciding on whether or not this is a good flip. And regardless of whether you decide it's a good flip or not, it's always a good idea to check the rabbit trails, because not only can you find this deal, but maybe you can find another. And if you missed out on this deal because you were late to the game, you can always check the rabbit trails and maybe get a deal. So let me take you down to the rabbit trails. You got to scroll down and you see where it says right here, customers who bought this item also bought. Well, you can see these are all similar items to what the main listing page is. And if you take a look, you see that 1488? That doesn't look good because that's a Chinese seller, I bet you. But look at this one. This is the #1 bestseller in everyday bras. And this is actually one that we posted in the group today that quite a few people jumped on at 1165. Amazon is out of stock 2 to 5 weeks, and they are giving up the buy box to the third-party sellers. And I'm sure within the next 2 days, this price will go back up in the 30s plus. But it's interesting that this is down here. So here you got all of these, and you look at the ones that have a low price and a high price, and the more stars the better, because if they've got a lot of stars, you know that it's a high quality item. It's got good sales velocity. This one right here, so you probably wouldn't even click on it. It's only got 2 stars. This probably has a bad fit and not much history. But any of these other ones, you could certainly click on and see if they might be a deal for you. 3.5 stars. My guess is on this one that the fit's not going to be quite right. Let's take a look on it, look at it and see. 69%, so that's not too bad. We can live with that. That's not a bad rank. However, you do have quite a few variations, and with 10 or more sizes among those, you're talking about over 100 variations here. So it might not be the best deal, but this looks attractive. So we'll take a look at it real quick by clicking on Variation Checker. And 1526, it looks like we got third-party sellers on that. They aren't Chinese sellers. They all have feedback and everything like that, so that's not a big deal. And let's see what this says. We got one at 1549 here. We'll just see who that is. Maybe it'll be Amazon. Well, Amazon's on this at $21. So this is probably not a good flip. So we'll go back and take a look. Another rabbit trail real quick. I should mention this too, sponsored products related to this. These are sponsored products that people have bought ads for. If you click on these, you're only going to see one seller on each one of those at these prices, so you can pretty much ignore that. Sometimes you'll see in this spot related items due to your browsing history. Those you would certainly want to take a look at. It just depends on which item you're on. Sometimes it comes up sponsored, sometimes it comes up based on your history, browsing history. My browsing history, of course, is all over the place because I search every day for these things. 2313 to 52. Let's take a look real quick. Open link. 79%, only got a few variations. It's got a higher rank than the others, but let's take a look. And there's that Chinese seller again at 1488. And it looks like we got a bunch of third-party sellers on that as well. So let's go back. It's only a couple clicks to go back, and you can click, you know what? I've seen this bra before. I want to check this out. I posted this as a flip a long time ago on the Ace VA list. So let's just take a look at it and see if it might be attractive. 80% decent rank, only 4 variations. Take a look at variation checker, and there's that guy again. He's just a big bother, I'll tell you. But let's take a look at this right here just to see if Amazon might be on this at 20. And they are not, so that was a bad choice. Click the arrow here and you'll get about 10 more items come up to see if there might be something there for you. Infinite lace customized lift bra, 1201 to 8324. That sounds too good to be true. I hope they're not going to be Chinese sellers on this. As expected, the rank is a little on the high side, but only 4 variations. So let's see if we got the same thing there. Discount Designer Warehouse. I actually, they're actually not a bad place. I bought something as a gift for someone from this company right here, and they sent me a pristine package, and it was great. Let's see, 1201. We look at the highs and the lows. Okay, this is actually $20, $21 with shipping. So you got 23 all the way to 24 for the lowest price to the highest lowest price, so that's probably not a deal either. But anyway, you get the general idea. These are where the rabbit trails are, and you take a look and you look at low price versus high price. You look at the number of reviews. Unfortunately, you can't see rank, but it can give you a clue on what you might want to search for. And you see there's a whole bunch of other ones here too. 601 to 15. Panties, there's not much money in panties, unfortunately, unless you can find them for $2 and sell them for 20. Let's see, we got 19 to 51. Now this is Maidenform, and of course that's not Calvin Klein, and Maidenform I don't usually find too many deals in, but let's take a look at that. Look at all those variations, huh? But it's got a great rank, so I mean, you have to look. When you see this, you have to look. So let's go take a look real quick. And it looks like third-party sellers across the board. 1565 all the way to 17, 15 to 17. Next lowest price on these are 17, 16, 15. So there's nothing there. And we're going to stop the broadcast because that is just crappy. That's a crappy